Thanks for watching. Today we're going to be touring the USS TURNER JOY DD-951, a ship with a great story to tell from the first shots of the Vietnam War to the Cold War. She is currently a museum ship in Bremerton, Washington. Hi, my name is Eric Gattenby. I'm an enthusiast for all things nautical and aerospace. I served for 22 years in the U.S. Submarine Force and have been supporting it for the last 14 years since retiring. I've been an aviation enthusiast since I was 10. Please join me while I pursue my passions through first-person experiences in history, exploring aircraft, ships, and historic sites that have changed the world, and for some that are truly off the beaten path. Welcome to Bremerton, Washington, just outside of Seattle, home of Puget Sound Naval Shipyard and the museum ship USS TURNER JOY DD-951. TURNER JOY's namesake is Vice Admiral Charles Turner Joy, a 1916 graduate of the United States Naval Academy. He went on to serve in both the First and Second World Wars, as well as the Korean War, and ended his career as the superintendent at the United States Naval Academy, retiring in 1954. TURNER JOY was the last ship in the Forrest Sherman class of destroyers and the first ship in the Navy to bear the name. Her keel was laid down on September 30th, 1957 in Seattle, Washington by the Puget Sound Bridge and Dredging Company. She was sponsored by Miss Martha Chess Joy, Admiral Turner's widow. She was launched on May 5th, 1958 and commissioned on August 3rd, 1959 in Bremerton, Washington with Commander Ralph S. Wentworth, Jr. in command. With a length overall of 418 feet, a beam of 45 feet, and a draft of 22 feet, she displaced approximately 2,800 tons and 4,000 tons under full load. She's powered by four 1,200-pound boilers, driving two steam turbines that power two shafts to two propellers. She can achieve 32+ knots. She is armed with three 5-inch 54 caliber guns and two Mark 32 torpedo launchers that carry three Mark 46 torpedoes each. The crew complement was 17 officers and 275 enlisted personnel. No discussion of the history of TURNER JOY would be complete without discussing the infamous Gulf of Tonkin incident. On August 2, 1964, the destroyer Maddox came under fire by North Vietnamese forces. They engaged, and then 2 days later, Maddox and TURNER JOY were sent to show the flag after the first incident. During that evening of rough weather and heavy seas, the destroyers received radar, sonar, and radio signals that they believed signaled another attack by the North Vietnamese Navy. For some 2 hours, the ships engaged radar targets and maneuvered vigorously amid electronic and visual reports of enemies. Despite the Navy's claim that two attacking torpedo boats had been sunk, there was no wreckage, bodies of North Vietnamese sailors, or other physical evidence present at the scene of the alleged engagement. One other interesting bit of history for the TURNER JOY was that she fired the final round of naval gunfire of the Vietnam War, hitting the beach at just moments before midnight GMT on 28 January 1973, just a few seconds before the ceasefire went into effect. Now that we've had a chance to introduce you to the ship's namesake as well as the history of the TURNER JOY in the Vietnam War, I want to take you through the physical ship now. I want to take you through the propulsion plant from the engine room number 2 and fire room number 2, as well as steering gear to see how the ship was pushed through and steered through the water. Then I want to take you through the armaments, through the 5-inch gun mounts, how the ammunition comes up from the magazines down below and then up actually into the gun mounts and is shot and then expelled. And we'll take a look at the Mark 46 torpedo launchers. And then I'm going to take you through the crew accommodations for the enlisted crew, the E6 and below, as well as the chief petty officers. And then we're going to look at how the ship's officer complement lived. Now, let's take a look at this great ship. To aft engine room number 2 on the USS TURNER JOY. I'm coming in from the aft, from the berthing that you see there. So this is the main reduction gear for engine number 2. It goes down to a shaft that you see there, and that continues out through a very long propulsion shaft out to the propeller on the port side. This is a 1,200-pound steam system with both a low pressure and high pressure turbine, starting from the high pressure then to the low pressure. But it is, and you'll see here, it is We have a high-speed pinion gear back here, driving bull gear here, which drives this pinion gear to this bull gear. And we'll come around the corner here. You get the idea of the main engine setup. Steam coming from the boiler room, which is directly behind us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take us across here to the desalination plant. This is what was used to convert seawater into fresh water for the crew. And it's a steam distillation plant. Just controls from it. Just giving you a nice perspective on it here. So now we're going to turn here to maneuvering. This is where they controlled the steam flow in throttles and all of the monitoring for the aft engine room, or engine room number 2. Main throttles. You see here, engine order telegraph, circuit K, RPM, and circuit K here that tell how fast it's going around and how many total revolutions that the propeller and shaft have made. And just monitoring for it, status boards. And a nice desk here for the watch stander to use. Then damage control wise, this has just a layout that shows we are here in engine room number 2. It shows the layout here. Main engine. We have on the other side of this will be some ship service turbine generators. Okay, gonna kind of give you just another look here of it. Now I'm gonna kind of move aft, and then I'm gonna head to the port side here. This is ship service turbine generator number 2, or correction, number 4. It's a steam turbine generator that feeds up from a steam turbine here to a generator, and it provides power. We also have number 3 sitting here, that same thing, steam turbine, allows for electrical power. And just going to give you another look here to show you. Okay, I'm now going to start working my way aft, past the aft part of the high pressure or low pressure turbine here, high pressure turbine here, as we saw on the other side that they were labeled. Okay, I'm reaching up to the edge of the hull here. You can find, and tour groups here with this now. Now I've crossed into the fire room, or the boiler room, for engine room number 2. One interesting part about this was that originally at commissioning, she was designed to run on bunker fuel, real heavy fuel oil, but later in life was converted to burn JP5 aviation fuel, and it had some good and bad effects. It was more efficient, it was a common fuel, but also it created it that it burned hotter and would burn out the equipment sooner. So I'm turning here to say hi to the folks on the tour group here. They're very friendly. So this is the fireboxes. There's two Alpha, 2 Bravo, and you can see inside the firebox of what the tubes and everything look like. But these generated 1,200 pound or 1,200 psi steam for use in the ship systems, both for the propulsion and for the electrical system. She had 35,000 shaft horsepower per shaft, so for a total of 70,000 horsepower. This area that you see here is actually off limits on the tour route. I used one of my extension poles and my GoPro to give us a look down at the lower level of fire room number 2. Okay, this is a emergency diesel generator. It's located just forward of the steering gear room. Obviously, if you lose all electrical power, this is a good source of energy to run the hydraulic plants that are there. Just getting a little look at the diesel indicator panels. You can see the batteries in the background as well as transformers, the generator itself. All right, now physically stepping into the steering gear room, you're looking directly at two hydraulic power systems. Looking at the port rudder control there, that's the hydraulics that actually control it. There's a little information placard here. Gonna kind of pan around, looking at the hydraulic plants here. Pretty confined space, but obviously redundant hydraulic control systems for both port and starboard rudders. And I'm going to work my way around. There's the starboard rudder. And I work my way around here. There's just more of the hydraulic control systems and access to the other level directly below it. One last look around here. It's obviously the starboard rudder, just a quick look again. And we'll start to head aft here for other parts of the ship. And here's a little bit of an Easter egg for you. In 2015, I had a chance to dive on the Turner Joy, and these are the propellers just before the ship went into dry dock for its haul out and cleaning and preservation. Enjoy. Now we're going to take a look at the 5-inch 54 caliber Mark 42 gun. Turner Joy was fitted with 3. As you can see here from this graphic, that the system for loading it from the magazine spans multiple decks. The image or the video you see in the upper left-hand corner, that is a Japanese destroyer using some saluting rounds, so you can actually see the gun mount in action. It's going to cycle through up, down, left, right a couple of times here and shoot a couple of saluting rounds. Getting into the actual mount itself, it was originally designed to handle both anti-air and anti-surface, so it had 2 gunners in it, one port, one starboard, depending on which way it was facing, or left, right for a better. Later it was removed with the anti-aircraft capability of it because aircraft got faster and it was just something that they could keep up with the anti-aircraft artillery on. The gun has a 5-inch bore, shoots a 70-pound projectile out a 22.5-foot barrel at 2,650 feet per second. This is just about 100 feet per second slower than the NATO 5.56 63-grain full metal jacket boat tail round. And here's a pretty interesting video I found that shows the breech loading in the center there. Gun fires, you see it rotate up to the right there. That pitches out the outgoing shell casing. And gonna go up on the what is the port side of here, turn around and give you a look back at the cycling action for it here. Looking up at the top, you can see the hydraulic lines and everything that put this gun into proper use. Okay, I'm going to take a look at the breech loading again here, just a different angle. Pan around. And you can see how confined and how small the space is here. Now I'm going to back out the ladder and step down and give you an outside look from the port side here. Just to give you an idea of how large the gun mount itself is. We're walking around here. Now we're going to be coming up on the starboard side. And this was where I had actually entered the gun from at the beginning of this. Now we're going to take you down below to look at the actual loading mechanism at the deck directly below. This is comes up from the magazine below, brings the mated shell with the propellant charge as well as the projectile. And it can hold up to 40 rounds in the ready position. Now we'll take a look at torpedo systems. Turner Joy was configured with 6 Mark 32 torpedo tubes, 3 on the port side, 3 on the starboard. We are taking a look at the starboard torpedo bank here, and you can see in the video there that was a launch. It uses pneumatic or compressed air to push the torpedo out. Rotate around and give you a look at the weapon here. It's nominally 550 pounds, has a 100-pound warhead of PBXN 103. It's carried out in the tray that you see there, and then clamped into the torpedo tube and then on the support legs to allow the workers, or not the workers, the sailors to load it up. Take a look here at another pneumatic launch. This one's in slow motion, so you'll see a recoverable exercise torpedo come out. Now I'm going to spin around here to the port side of the ship and look at the port side torpedo tubes. That is the Minette Bridge in the background, by the way. So you have another set of the triple Mark 32 launchers. Get up here to the forward end, turn back around and looking aft. And another good look of the Mark 46 torpedo there. And this style of torpedo tube is still in use today, and in use in both the U.S. Navy as well as our foreign partners. Now I'm going to be transitioning up from the 01 up to the 02 level to get a look down on the starboard side. And this video is from a Dutch frigate that shows it getting launched there. So it's a good look down to show you the. Now we'll take a look at what the berthing was like, or living accommodations were for the junior enlisted E1 through E6. We'll start with the aft of these two compartments, and I'll let you see how they lived. Okay, I'm going to turn around now, and you can see here that behind me, but what you don't see now that I'm going to walk through is what cruise berthing looks like as you pass through. So this would be for junior enlisted personnel. And then, you can see the space that I'm using here. And this is representative of what one of the sailors would have had in their sea bag. And coming around towards the port side here, just to give you another look at another section of berthing. Not great, not terrible. And just give you another look at another section of berthing, general sea bag items that you'll find in here for the junior rating. And you can see, it's fairly generous as far as, shoulder width goes, but obviously it's quite austere, given that Okay, now we're going to take a look at the second berthing compartment, the forward one that you see here. I'm going to be taking this ladder down. Like all ships, the very steep ladders coming through that watertight hatch. This particular berthing compartment is set up with a variety of damage control gear to show you a lot of the things that were used in the event of casualty. So I'm going to walk around. They're using this also as storage for flags and other things to dry out. And panning on, I'm looking to the starboard side now, heading towards the starboard. And you can see the bunks that are laid out with the damage control gear. Go through and take a look at these. The first one is an inductor and a portable submersible pump. Yes, you can pump more water out of a space with using a pump inductor combination than just a pump alone. DC plugs, Marlin line there, manila line, damage control light, and emergency escape breathing device, and sound-powered phone cord there, and high voltage, high current electrical cable. This is aqueous film forming foam, or AFFF. It's a firefighting agent and works good on Class Bravo fires. Then you have standard hose and nozzle there. And I'm going to go up now. I've been on the first platform. I'm going to go up to the main deck here. Now we'll take a look at the crew's mess. This is kind of the focal point of life on board ship for both eating, entertainment, and training. They have a display here for the prisoner of war missing in action, or POW MIA, to honor those. And we're on the main deck. I'm in the aft portion of the crew's mess now, looking to the port side. Turn around here and start heading up towards the front. You can see obviously a lot of sitting here. This would have been a very busy place at meal times, and also after meal times and evening, it could also double as entertainment space for cards, movies, that kind of thing. And you'll notice the standard fare, the coffee pots, hot water, things of that nature. And ice cream machine. No ship would be complete without it. Now I'm going to turn around and give you a tour back on the steam line here. You see the serving line and nice post office box there for sailors to send mail out. And just looking into the galley now. See ovens, mixers, slicers, griddles, warmers, baking, racks coming along the serving line here. Industrial size, Hobart style mixers, steam powered kettles, everything you need to feed 400 plus crew. And it's a freezer there. And one thing too is that the ship was fitted with a barbershop. The ship had ship servicemen that ran a small ship store, as well as the barbershop to take care of crew haircuts. And we'll go back up here and give you another good look around here of the crew's mess, just to get you an idea of the sitting, how it was, for space-wise and for mobility. Now we'll take a look at how the chief petty officers on board lived. We'll take a look first at the CPO mess and lounge. It's located on the main deck, starboard side. This is an area where the chief petty officers dine separately from the enlisted crew. They have their own mess. They control the menu and whatnot. You can see the amount of seating here, and This is also a lounge for them to socialize, to hammer things out with each other, to hold meetings about how they would run the ship or whatnot. You can see how it's been personalized, but at the end of the day, it is where it is a functioning mess hall and has a scullery attached to it. Obviously, coffee pots and everything that they would need to run a small mess. You saw the griddle there, obviously scullery, sink, and everything here. And the most important fixture on the ship, the coffee pot. Now I'm going to take you to forward cheeks berthing. This is down on the first platform. You can see that the conditions are pretty austere compared to what they would be on a normal, I guess you'd say, modern day ship. Just gives you an idea of how the conditions have improved and changed over time. And this would be the attached head for it that is shared with the large enlisted berthing compartment here. Now the second set of chiefs berthing is located aft on the first deck here, and I'm going to take you down. It is a bit smaller than the other one, but between the two, it's where the E7, 8s, and 9s, or chief petty officers, slept. And this gives you an idea, the layout and how the conditions were. The bedding and everything was not any better than any of the other enlisted had it. There might be a little bit more space here and more storage and everything, but other than that, the conditions for actual sleeping were essentially the same. And I'll just peek in here to the head here. Obviously a very austere looking shower, sinks, toilet, and urinals. Now we'll shift gears and take a look at how the ship's officers lived and recreated. This is the wardroom. It's all the way forward on the main deck. This would be where all of the ship's officers would dine, socialize, train, professional development. And just like all other commissioned ships, she had presentation silver. A little bit more of it here in the display case. This is the wardroom pantry. This would be where the culinary specialists would prepare and serve meals to the officers. And just a different view coming in from the forward to get a little better view of the lounge on the port side. And we'll pan around here to give you another good look down the table. Now we're going to head out and head aft just a little bit to go up to the O1 level. Okay, we're going to take a look at the commanding officer's stateroom. This is on the O1 level all the way forward. As you enter, there's a bit of a reception area here. This is combination stateroom and office. You can see how the ship gets smaller as the further you go forward here, so we're fairly far forward. Now this next door is the executive officer's stateroom. That couch you see gets made up into a bunk, and he has his own office as well as a lavatory attached. It lives right next door to the commanding officer. Now this is how the junior officers, those below the rank of the executive officer, would have lived. To a stateroom. Pretty good storage. Now we're going to go up one level to the O2 level. This is the commanding officer's at sea cabin. At sea, the commanding officer's job is 24/7, 365, and having instant access to the bridge and CIC is a must. That's why he has a little more austere stateroom here, so that he can be brought up on a moment's notice. And we'll continue the tour by going out onto the bridge and taking a look at see how you would drive the ship on the surface. Up here on the O2 level, there's really good visibility, as you can see around the port of Bremerton. Just walking around forward now to the external portions of the bridge. You gotta love having the voice tubes to talk down to the other spaces, the engine room. It's basic indications for engine order, rudder, have a radar repeater there. I bet you can guess whose chair that is. And we'll step inside the enclosed portion of the bridge here. This would be where the officer of the deck would be standing watch. Helm, you have the engine order telegraph there, and the helm actual wheel itself. And another radar repeater. And we're going to head over to the chart room. This is where the quartermaster and the navigator would prepare charts and to navigate the ship. And you can see there's a fathometer, UQN1 most likely, on the bulkhead there. This is the Combat Information Center, or CIC. The search radars and all of the tactical information needed to fight the ship. Okay, headed back out forward here. Now we're headed down to the sonar equipment space. This is near and dear to my heart. Believe it or not, they had a radar repeater down there as well. IC switchboard there on the left. Ping, ping, yes, SQS-23 sonar. She did have a bow-mounted sonar array. Looks an awful lot like the old BQS-4 that I trained on way back in my early naval career. Now we're going to head out on the starboard side weather decks up to the forecastle. It was such a nice day here in Bremerton that it was really nice to get out and see the front of the boat and such great weather, and to really get the view of the port, of Mount Rainier, and of the harbor. Okay, made it all the way up to the bow of the ship. Going to turn around here and look back at the anchor and line handling equipment on the forecastle. A nice view of the Minette Bridge and the apartments there. So we have the ship's anchoring equipment here. And it's one of the actual anchors there with the white linking up to the chain. there's number 1 5-inch gun. And now I'm going to walk down the port side of the ship and take you down to the anchor windlass hydraulic room and let you see how the anchor mechanism and everything was powered. Now we're down in the anchor windlass room that provides power up to the hoisting mechanism, and you see that big pipe going down. That's the Haws pipe that takes down into the chain locker, where obviously the chain is located or stored. And this is the bosun locker. You see some of their marlin spike gear there, lines, and just some small leads. So port and starboard anchor Haws pipes there. Now I'm going to head out onto the weather deck on the starboard side and head my way aft to kind of conclude my tour here. Just walking along the weather decks to get back to the aft deck. And now we're getting back to the aft deck. We've passed the 5-inch gun number 2 back that was above us. Now I'm looking back. You can see both number 2 and number 3 mounts here. And just give you another good look here, both the aft 2 and 3 mounts. I'm going to head over to the actual stern of the ship to give you a look and perspective from there. Where I'm walking now, when the ship was in commission, would have been a torpedo decoy that the handling gear that you saw for it there as I just walked by. And that concludes our walkabout on the Turner Joy. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I enjoy putting these videos together and would like to hear back comments and feedback. Thanks so much.